So this is how we hire virtual assistants to outsource our appointment booking. Now, why do we want to do this in the first place? Well, we need to be delegating low-level tasks so we can actually maximize the amount of work that we do and save our time. Because if you're sitting there calling up leads and booking your own appointments, it's going to be really hard for you to scale other things inside your business that actually move your business forward if you're just getting on calls all the time and scheduling appointments, right? Because the only thing that you have time for is to go to the job and get paid. You don't have time to sit on the phone all day. So that's why we need to hire other people to do this job for us so we can save time, do the things that we want in life, and also save money because I'm going to show you how to hire a virtual assistant for literally $3 an hour to do all this for you. So, first thing that we need to do is we need to create an Upwork account. Okay, so it's very simple to create an Upwork account. All you got to do is just go to Upwork.com right here, and then all you have to do after that is you just go to post a job and make sure that you are creating a client account, not a freelancer account, because you are hiring, you're not being hired. Okay, so you just want the headline to be appointments that are needed. It's as simple as that. You want to put it as a long-term project. You don't need AI to do it. You can put it as telemarketing. That's perfectly fine. And then you want to also have like skills required. So you put like scheduling, data entry, sales, telemarketing, phone communication. Only about like 3 to 5 skills is perfectly fine. Then you just click next. And then you want to do more than 6 months to attract high-level talent. And you want to do expert to attract high-level talent again. And you want to say that this could become full-time so you get people that are actually serious to apply for your job. Okay, so next, location, you want to do worldwide. And you want to go click on Philippines. The reason why we want people from the Philippines is, number one, their English is really good. They have a very little accent, so they're easily understood by United States people. And also, they're extremely cheap to hire if it's your first hire. So you don't have to hire a United States employee, which would cost you $2,000+ a month. These people in the Philippines only cost like $300 to $500 a month, and they're actually extremely grateful for that pay because that pay in their country is actually really good because of the currency exchange. Okay, so next is budget. We just want to go here and we want to put $3 to $5 an hour. You want to put it as an hourly rate. Description, you want to just go to this document. I'll link it in the live if you guys want it, or I'll link it in the description, whatever you're watching this on. And then you just copy this and you just add it. So let's kind of go over what this even is. So the description is expanding auto detailing company looking to recruit a virtual assistant to manage and execute on appointment booking tasks for us. I put our us. There we go. Our us. I need to change that for you guys. For us. There we go. Plenty of room for advancement and long-term employment if you're competent, hardworking, and efficient. Big cash incentives to be rewarded if you're able to deliver. Then we're looking for people who value teamwork, focus, and efficiency. Skills required. They must have excellent English skills. It's a must, both written and spoken. They need to have knowledge of Google Sheets, knowledge of appointment setting and sales, knowledge of how to nurture warm leads, understanding basic questioning techniques on the phone, flexibility with working time and hours, and their technical requirements. They need a laptop/computer with a 64-bit processor. It needs to be a Windows or Mac computer, preferably a good computer and not just a crappy laptop. And they need to have fast and reliable internet connection so they don't lose connection during calls or anything like that. So the job roles are included to, but are not limited to, calling and texting warm leads that we provide using a script, booking appointments with our clients' leads that are interested, keeping a log of your calls, recording conversations, etc., keeping a log of your metrics, hitting certain KPIs. Now we want to ask them to put the number 44 in their application so we know they've taken the time to read this description. Okay. So next is personal attributes. We want to have a strong work ethic, focus, and efficiency, and great English skills. So that's basically all you have to do. But I would change this right here. It's not clients. There we go. And now you just go to review job post. And you want to come down here and you want to click on screening questions and you want to put in these screening questions right here. What attracted you to this opportunity? What do you think are the 3 most important traits to have in this role? This project requires time flexibility. Are you available at this time? What kind of computer do you have? And what experience do you have in this role? Now, you really, really want to look out for these, and I'll kind of go into why. So, after you post that, all you gotta do now is post, and make sure to really look into if people are answering these questions. The more often that they are answering them fully and not just a few words, the better the candidate they are to interview. So just look out for that. Now, inviting the candidates to interview. We want to go through the applicants and delete those who have clearly put no effort into the application when answering the screening questions. Also, delete those that don't have a 64-bit computer or a powerful laptop. Narrow it down to the point where you have a pool of applicants who qualify for the role on paper. Then all you have to do is just send the qualified candidates this message. You're going to say, hey, name, good news, you've made it through to the next stage in our recruiting process. I'd like to invite you to a 30-minute Zoom interview. Go ahead and grab a time for this week. Then you want to insert your calendar link. Now, you can use pretty much any calendar link. What I would recommend is if you have high level, you just want to make a calendar specifically for interviews. That's what I do. Now, if you don't have high level or anything, another good app to use is called Calendly. That's a pretty good app to use. You just make a calendar on there. You want to put it at 30-minute increments for your interview times. And we also want to say this: if there are no available times, please reply with your email address and the day you are requesting, and we will book the interview at X time through X time. So just in case if there's no slots available, we don't want to lose that interview. So we are going to go ahead and put that in there. Okay. And then we say, by the way, I plan on making my final hire decision on X date. Insert whatever date you want to make the final hire decision. And you also want to do this to keep yourself accountable, so you don't just go through interviews and never make a decision. If they have any questions, just let them know, right? Okay, step 4, we want to log all the candidates in the VA candidate spreadsheet, okay? So after we get all the applicants, we want to put them in here. We have various things for name, email, and date applied. So every time that you send out someone that is getting an interview with you, you just want to put them in there. And you want to also put in the screening questions right there. Now, interviewing your VAs. Once you've got a handful of qualified VAs, it's time to interview them. You want to refer to this resource for information on best interviewing practices and questions to ask. So here's some basic interviews that you can go off of, but I also put them in here because as I'm interviewing people, I like to have this sheet up while I'm asking them questions, so I can type in what they're saying to me, so I can look back when I'm making my final hiring decision and see what their answers were. And as you can see, all of these light blue columns are just the interview questions, the basic interview questions. Okay, so you want to fill them in as you would. You can use these interview questions. You don't really have to. You can make them however you want, but I always use these. These are good interviews and they give me good hires, so I'd recommend you do the same. Okay, so next, once you've interviewed all your candidates, you want to narrow it down to your 3 to 4 best ones. The interview doesn't give us a grasp on their competency, so we need to test them to see how they perform on the job. Now we need to complete our test assignment. You can find it linked here. So every time, once you got your 3 to 4 candidates, all you got to do is just go here, and then you will send them this document. So you'll literally go share, and then you'll go copy link, and then you'll send it to them. You'll say like, congratulations, you've made it through the test assignment. Please study this document, right? And here it'll have like a basic script for outbound lead calling for mobile, outbound lead script for shops and studios right here, and then virtual assistant objection handling, just basic objections so they can start to learn how to objection handle. And then also a detailing industry masterclass so they can know more about like what detailing actually is, because some of them may have experience in detailing, but I would probably assume that most of them don't, although they might have experience in appointment setting before. But we just want to kind of give them this masterclass, kind of like going over like what the basics of detailing is, like what kind of services and how much on average do they cost, so they have more of a better idea of what they're going into during the test assignment. Okay, so the test assignment is very vague. This is intentional. We're more concerned with how people approach this test assignment. We're looking for people who aren't afraid to ask questions or get further clarification, but we're also looking for people who just want to dive in and take action and get dialing. This is also an extremely useful way to determine how efficient someone is. So for conducting the test assignment, we want to use this resource. Okay, so I'll go over this. So when you get on the test assignment with your new VA that you're trying to test, you want to just do this. This document includes everything we need to do to conduct a successful test assignment, as well as make sure that the VA is a great fit. Okay, so the overall scope of this test assignment. For the appointment setter position, the test assignment will take place over a Zoom call. The reason is we have to role play sessions with them, since this is a communication heavy position. 80% of the test assignment will be testing their communication and phone skills, and 20% will be seeing if they're capable of being effective with the technology we provide them. They'll be tested over the assets that we provide them after we have made the decision to push them further into the hiring process by inviting them to the test assignment call. Here is what we will test them over. So we literally went over that. Okay, so the 3 main points, the 3 overall things we need to be testing here: Google Sheet knowledge and metric tracking knowledge. 2 is role play scenarios, and 3 is knowledge of technology. Now let's go through these main points to show us exactly what we need to be doing if the VA is qualified for the job based on this test assignment. So, Google Sheet and metric tracking knowledge. Before we go into depth with this test assignment, we need to test their knowledge on how to track metrics using the Google Sheets. We need to ask them to take out a piece of paper and pen and write these 3 things at the top of the page: calls made, calls answered, and bookings. Now that they have it written down, we instruct them to tally them each of these actions as they take place. This way, at the end of the role play sessions, they'll have data to input into the tracker sheet to see how their KPIs are with just role play phone calls. This helps us make the decision if they're able to hit KPIs with live calls, right? Obviously, they need training to hit KPIs well, but this will show us whether or not they will improve with training, already are good to go, or should just be let go since the metrics are just so bad on role play calls. Note, remember to role play some missed calls to see what they would say if there's a voicemail, and also to test if they are tracking their metrics for calls answered correctly. There is no right way for them to track metrics, just as long as they're accurate and efficient is good enough. And by the way, you should be tracking them along as well to see if your metrics line up with theirs in the end. Okay, so role play scenarios. We need to role play as if we are a detailer's prospect, pretending we're not working for a company. Instead, we are just a regular random person looking to get their car detailed that has multiple personalities based on the scenario we're role playing. You want to act human, use emotion, you want to stay in character and don't break it, and you want to have the Zoom camera off to have more realistic calling sessions. Each calling session should not last more than 5 minutes. Obviously, this might not simulate real life calls, but to save time, we shorten them to get to the main points faster. Okay, so there will be 4 scenarios with 3 sessions, each conducted on the call. Scenario 1 is we want to play as a good prospect 3 times. A good prospect is someone who says yes to everything, doesn't have a single objection or concern, and is extremely interested and ready to schedule. Scenario 2, we want to play as a normal prospect 3 times. A normal prospect is someone who's interested and ready to book in. They may have a few objections or concerns that may be holding them back, but if they're handled correctly, there's no issue with them booking in. Scenario 3 is we want to play as a bad prospect 3 times. A bad prospect is someone that is not very interested at all. They may not be aware of what the phone call is about, or they're constantly saying to call them back. When you do get into conversation with them, they have an objection or concern about every little thing. They're possible to book in, but it's going to take a lot of work to make them trust you and meet their expectations. And scenario 4, you want to play as a terrible prospect 3 times. A terrible prospect is someone that is 100% not interested. They're rude and despise being on the phone with you. They insist they didn't sign up to be called. They may swear and be agitated and aggressive. They will never book in no matter how hard you try. The longer they're on the phone, the more they hate you. So when you're playing scenario 4 as a bad prospect, you want to make it so that no matter what the VA does in the test assignment, it's impossible for you to book in on that one. You just want to see their reaction. Because mostly what we're looking for is their reaction on scenario 3 and 4 compared to 1 or 2. 1 or 2 are pretty easy, right? That's going to be most leads, but also there's going to be some of these leads that are kind of bad. So we want to see how they would handle these type of people. Now the next thing is knowledge of technology. Now we're going to be testing them on their tech skills. This one is just as important as the role play sessions because they may be amazing on the phone, but if they fumble with the tech side, they won't succeed, and vice versa. To properly test the VA's tech skill, first we need to understand what most of the time the VA may be familiar with the system like ours, but has never actually used our exact one. That means we shouldn't be harsh when we're judging them in this area because of the simple fact that our system is just really easy to learn. The purpose is just to see what they already know, how they figure out solutions for themselves, and gauge how easy or hard it will be to train them on the tech side. Remember, 80% of the VA's success will be from their communication and phone skills, as well as the discipline to get the work done, not to mention. And the other 20% will be from them having knowledge on how to use our tech efficiently. The only thing that we need to focus on regarding tech is our CRM. All the other tech tools are easy to use and don't require much knowledge or skill, but the CRM does. That is why we test them on these areas. So we have 2 scenarios. Number 1, we want them booking in 2 dummy contacts in the calendar. To do this, first we create 2 dummy contacts. Then we will ask them to book them on a specific date and time. For the first dummy contact, we will ask them to book them as if they were getting a mobile detail. The second contact, we will ask them to book them in as if they were getting a detail at a shop. Remember, we aren't teaching them. We are seeing if they can think for themselves to figure this out. Take into account how quick or slow they are able to do this action, or if they were able to figure it out at all. Now, number 2 is we want to test them on moving prospects in the pipeline. To do this, we will create 2 more dummy contacts. Then we will proceed to ask them to move them to various stages of the pipeline. We need to be testing them on if and then scenarios. For example, if you call X lead on day 2 follow-up and they don't answer, what would be the next stage you'd move them to? We should test them on at least 3 to 5 scenarios to make sure that they know how to use the diamond follow-up system and have taken the time to study before the test assignment. All right. So deciding. Now you've gone through all your test assignments. Now it's time to decide. You should be choosing from the 3 to 5 VAs you've already interviewed and tested. To decide, just think about the long term and who you would actually want to work with and who fits into the desired culture of your business. Okay. Main things you want to be thinking about is, will I enjoy working with this person? Genuinely. Can I offload more work to them in the long term? Did they follow my instructions with the test? How did they approach the test assignment? Did they book jobs on the test assignment? Are they diligent and efficient? Based on their interview answers, are they a good fit? Making a decision is down to you, and there's no resource or specific steps we can give you to do this. Have a backup. So think about who you want the most, and then think who you would want if they decided not to take the job. Don't tell losing candidates they've lost until you've onboarded the winner. All right? So offering the job. Once you've made your decision, send the winning candidate the job offer. Here's an example. Hey, Name, I have great news. I'd love you to join the team for the long term. Before you say yes, I want you to take a full day to think it through, so it's definitely the right role for you and the right decision for you to make. Feel free to take 24 hours. This is because we want to have you as a long-term member of our team, and I want you to be interested in the work you'll be doing. Your main job will be similar to the test assignment, but we will provide extremely detailed training and workflows for you to follow. After this, there will be still room for growth and promotions, but I do not know where those lead yet. Since I'm still growing, I don't know what's right around the corner. So please take your time and think about your answer. We're looking to get started on date, paying you insert incentive or hourly rate. You can expect flexible hours of X through X. Let me know if you're happy to take the job. Okay, So, also we can refer to this script. So, what I would recommend to get people already bought into the culture of your company right away, I would definitely make a personalized Loom video or some type of video, maybe even on your phone, congratulating their success on being the top test assignment scorer. So the contents of the Loom or of the video would be, you want to personalize it to their first name. You want to tell them what they scored. You want to tell them what others who took the test assignment scored. Abstain from calling out any names. Just tell them what they were up against. You want to explain the competition they were up against. Explain why out of everyone they were the best fit. And then you want to tell them the next steps for the recruiting process and tell them there's a 24-hour wait period for them to be sure they want to move forward. Reason for this is they will be on an emotional high. We want them to have 24 hours to evaluate if this is a good opportunity for them so we can hire a qualified candidate that truly wants the position. Okay. Always do this when you make a new hire. You want to personally welcome people. You don't want to just send like some weird email. Seriously, it goes a long way, and people that you hire will be way more bought in to the job and your company if you do it this way. So what happens if they fail the test assignment? If they fail getting hired? Well, we say, hey, name, I reviewed your test assignment and unfortunately have to discontinue our process forward. I really appreciate the time you took to study the test assignment. So for that, I don't want you to feel like your time is wasted. Please link me your PayPal and you will be compensated for your time and effort. Note up here, if hiring from Upwork, do not send the failure script inside of Upwork's messaging platform. Do not do this, as the contents of the message go against their terms and conditions. This should only be sent on non-Upwork platforms such as email, okay? But once you have the candidate, then you want to hire them on Upwork that you want, okay? And that's it. So I hope this helps you out on how to hire a virtual assistant, and I will see you guys later.